Hello friends, in this video lecture we are going to discuss a continuation topic, that is vertebral column, right? So in last video lecture we discussed about vertebral column of the fishes or fishes, and in this video lecture we are going to discuss about the vertebral column of the amphibians, right? So in case of amphibians, the vertebral column is arranged or present at the mid dorsal line of the trunk region. Okay, it is present at mid dorsal line of trunk region. Okay, at trunk region there are 9 bones are present. Those 9 bones are similar to the ring like structure. Okay, so those 9 bones will arrange one behind the other. Okay, so those arrangement will form a column like structure. That column is nothing but vertebral column of the amphibians, right? So those bones get arranged one behind the other with a strong ligament, with a strong ligaments. So what do you mean by ligaments? Ligaments are nothing but these are the small flexible and flexible tissues, connective tissues. Ligaments are the flexible connective tissues which helps in the attachment of the bones. Okay, with the help of ligaments the bones can get attached. Okay, so those are nothing but the ligaments. So ligaments are help in attachment of the bones, right? So here initially the vertebral column of the amphibian consists of mainly 9 bones. Okay, so they are similar to the ring-like structure, but there is last one bone that is called as urostyle, right? Urostyle, which is have the tapering end. Urostyle have the tapering end. Okay, so we will see one by one how they are get arranged. So here first we have a typical vertebrae. Okay, so here the vertebrae from 2nd to the 7th are unlike except for the angle of their transfer process. They are called typical vertebrae. So the bones which are start from 2nd to the 7th in the vertebral column, 9 series of the vertebral column, from 2nd to 7th, whatever the bones are present, they are alike except for their angle of their transfer process. They have different angle of the transfer process. So those are called as the typical vertebra. Those vertebrae are called as the typical vertebra. And second point, the typical vertebra has more or less the form of a ring. They are more or less form of a ring. The cavity of the ring is called as neural canal, right? And the vertebral part of the ring, that is floor of the neural canal, is thick, called as center, right? So your point is the typical vertebra that looks like similarly are near to the ring-like structure. Okay, so that vertebra have one cavity. That cavity is called as the neural canal. See here, this is the neural canal, right? And the vertebral part of the ring, that is floor of the neural canal. At the floor of the neural canal, there is this canal. The floor of the neural canal is very thick. So that thick portion is called as the centrum. Okay, this region. Okay, so this region is nothing but the centrum, right? Just below the neural canal. Just below the neural canal, we have a thick floor that is nothing but the centrum. Okay, and next point, the centrum is concave at its anterior face and convex at its posterior face. Such type of centrum is called as trochlus. Okay, in case of centrum, it's anteriorly concave in nature. Okay, it has the centrum is concave at the anterior face. At anterior face it have concave shape, and at posterior face it has convex shape. Okay, so that's why this type of centrum is called as the trochlus type of centrum. Okay, and next point is that the part of the ring forms the sides and roof of the neural canal is much thinner. is termed as neural arch. Okay, so part of the ring in the sense the vertebrae, which looks like similarly like ring-like structure. They are not completely ring, but similarly ring-like structure. So the ring forms sides. It will form the sides, and the roof of the neural canal at the bottom side, the roof of the neural canal is much thinner, termed as neural arch. So this is the neural arch. Okay, below the neural canal, see, this is the neural canal, right? So below the neural canal, we have a sides, and below the neural canal, a roof of the neural canal is much thinner. Okay, that roof is called as the neural arch, which is present just below the neural canal. Okay, and next point is that neural arch bears a number of processes. Okay, it bears small, medium, backwardly directed process. So at the neural canal, neural arch, it bears a process-like structure, right? It has been some processors, they are small, they are medium, and they are backwardly arranged. Okay, so those are called as it bears small, medium, and backwardly directed process. So whatever the process present at that region, they are backwardly arranged. The neural canal spine, the neural spine, laterally it bears a pair of prominent transfer process. See here, the neural spine, this region. Okay, this is the neural spine. The neural spines bears, okay, it shows some processes, right? The neural spines laterally, it shows some processes, a pair of prominent processes. Those are called as the transfer process. This is the neural canal, and these are the transverse process. Okay, this one will be the transfer process. This one and this one, right? So these two are the transfer process which laterally presented the neural spine. Okay, and next point. Anteriorly and posteriorly, it bears short paired process for articulation with the adjacent vertebrae. Okay, at anteriorly and posteriorly, those vertebra will bear a short paired processes. For those processes helps in articulation with the adjacent vertebra. Okay, I told that they are present one behind the other. So for their attachment, for their articulation purpose, they bear short and paired processes, okay, which help them to articulation with the adjacent vertebra. These are called as zygapophyses. Those processes, those paired processes are called as zygapophyses. Okay, the anterior one is called pre-zygapophysis and posterior one is called post-zygapophysis. Here, this is the this region, they have the pre-zygapophysis, right? And at the post region, at this region they have the post-zygapophysis, which these processes are helped in articulation with the other vertebrae. Okay, so this regards the typical vertebrae of the amphibian. The next one is the first vertebra. Okay, in case of first vertebra, it is more ring-like than others. It looks ring-like as compared to the others, and it lacks pre-zygapophysis here, pre-zygapophysis and transfer process. Okay, so the first vertebra is similarly more ring-like as compared to the others, and it lacks pre-zygapophysis as well as the transfer process. It has greatly reduced centrum. Centrum is present, but it is greatly reduced. And very small neural spine. The neural spine is too small. This bone is involved in articulate with a skull bones. That's why this bone is called as atlas bone. Right? So see the diagram here. The neural spine is very small, right? And it has the neural arch which is reduced, and it has the neural canal which is very small. Okay, so here this bone, this first vertebra helps in the articulation with the skull bone. That's why this bone is called as atlas bone. Okay, second one is that eighth vertebra. In case of eighth vertebra, it has a centrum, right? It has a centrum as like other vertebra. It is also have the centrum which is concave in front and behind. So at both the faces, but at both front as well as behind, it is concave in shape. That's why this centrum is called as amphicoelous. Amphi means both sides, right? So both sides, this vertebra has concave. That's why that mode of that centrum is called as the amphicoelous centrum. The transfer process are slender and directed slightly backwards, right? See the structure here, right? So anterior and posterior, it has the convexity, right? This is the anterior one and this is the posterior one, right? So the centrum is anteriorly, posteriorly it has the convexity. That's why this mode of centrum is called as the amphicoelous centrum, right? Transfer processes are slender and slightly moved or slightly directed towards the backwards, right? And ninth vertebra. So ninth vertebra, it has a centrum. Again, it has the centrum like others, which bears large convexity in front and two small convexities at behind. See the speciality of this is the centrum. So the anteriorly it has the large convexity like this, and posteriorly it has the, this is one, this is two small convexities. So that type of centrum is called as acoelous. Okay, so that type of centrum is called as acoelous. The anterior convexity fits into the posterior convexity of the eighth vertebra. See here, this anterior convexity of the ninth vertebra is going to articulate with the posterior convexity of the eighth vertebra, right? And the transfer process of these vertebra are very stout and directed prominently backward to articulate with the ilia of the pelvic girdle. Okay, the transfer process are very stout, okay, and they are directed slightly backwards, and important point is that this transfer process will articulate with the ilia of the pelvic girdle. Okay, and last point is that the post-zygapophyses are absent. The post-zygapophyses are completely absent, but pre-zygapophyses are present. Post-zygapophyses are absent. The absence of post-zygapophyses helps in supporting the pelvic girdle. Okay, so what happens? This vertebra provides support to the pelvic girdle. So this ninth vertebra will help in supporting the pelvic girdle. That's why this bone is called as sacral vertebra, right? So ninth vertebra is called as the sacral vertebra. The last one vertebra is the urostyle. This is the last or end of the vertebral column, and the bone which is the ends the vertebral column, right? So this is long urostyle. We are talking about urostyle. So this is long, slender, tapering bone. Okay, as it looks, this is the urostyle, right? So this bone is long, slender, have the tapering bone, a tapering end. It represents the, okay, it represents the stout base, okay, which bears a thin vertical bridge along the upper side. Okay, so this is the thin vertical bridge, also called as the dorsal ridge, right? That is present at the upper side. Okay, and next point is that the base have a pair of concavities. So this is one concavity and this is one concavity. At the base, it is have the two concavities, right? At the anterior end, at this end is the anterior end. That's what is called as anterior concavities. Okay, so which helps in articulate with the ninth vertebra, right? So these anterior concavities are helps in articulate with the ninth vertebra. In ninth vertebra, at downside they have the two concavities, right? So those two concavities will articulate at the these regions of the urostyle, which is the last bone of the vertebral column. Okay, so this regards the vertebral column of the amphibians, right? I hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you.